on the next episode of The Other Side of Darkness.
That sound, that's the beginning of the end.
What's new with you guys?
George is getting anonymous death threats, Kramer's impersonating law enforcement, and I'm inching towards a full mental breakdown.
What does all this mean, and who the hell is Billy Mumphrey?
Don't you see what's going on here? George, we may be at the center of a systematic conspiracy of massive proportions.
Hello?
George Louis Costanza,
Yes?
you have secrets.
God, I'm not ready to die. Aren't you supposed to be at peace first? I'm not at peace. I've never been at peace. I wouldn't know peace if I had it.
Meet me outside your building at 10 o'clock tonight. Come alone.
You're not a ghost, are you?
I'll see you tonight.
Seinfeld, The Other Side of Darkness, Part 4, coming soon. This week's musical guest is Vision Video, a modern goth and post-punk band from Athens, Georgia, creating dance music for the end times. Here with the title track from their 2022 album Haunted Hours is Vision Video.
Told me the news, and all my blood ran down.
The Other Side of Darkness is voiced by Michael Scudieri, Ethan Dragon, Beth Maraver, Mike Dowd, Polar Nazu, Katie Drake, and John Apicella. Music by Patrick Edwards and Robert McDonald. If you enjoyed today's episode, leave us a positive rating and review on your podcasting app. You can follow Sign Peaks on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, and we've also got a Facebook group you can join. Just search Sign Peaks, 2 words, on Facebook. And you can also visit our store at signpeaks.threadless.com for merchandise. 100% of proceeds for the month of November will be donated to the Marcus Jewish Community Center of Atlanta. And if you'd like to support this series, you can visit patreon.com/signpeaks to get early access to episodes and exclusive merchandise. All links mentioned can be found in this episode's show notes. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy this podcast, you might also enjoy Watching Owen Wilson, the first podcast dedicated entirely to everyone's favorite catchphrase-loving comedic actor. Hosts Jake Menez and Michael J. Teeter make their way through Owen Wilson's entire filmography, rating each movie, counting each wow, and bringing in guests in an effort to befriend Owen Wilson himself. Find Watching Owen Wilson on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, and at watercooler.com. You can also listen to Mike Dowd, the voice of Kramer on this podcast, on his own podcast, Welcome to Twin Speaks. That's Twin Speaks with an S. Here's Mike and co-host Janine with more.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And hello, I'm Janine.
And this is Welcome to Twin Speaks. We are a bi-weekly podcast exploring the weird and wonderful world of David Lynch's master hit TV series, Twin Peaks. We will be going episode by episode, really discussing the legacy of Twin Peaks that it's left for television and pop culture that maybe you've never heard before.
And if you're someone like me who's actually seeing it for the very first time, I welcome you to dive in with me with no spoilers as we go along, and I avoid all the Google researching in what's to come with fresh eyes and fresh ears and bask in the wonderfully weird.
Yes, and if you've seen the show before, you can see it through the first time through Janine's eyes. It'll be like you're watching Twin Peaks for the first time. So grab a cup of joe, grab some donuts and some cherry pie, and join us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And welcome to Twin Speaks.
The Other Side of Darkness is written, performed, and produced strictly as a work of parody. The Other Side of Darkness is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, NBC, Warner Brothers Records, Rhino Records, Lynch Frost Productions, Twin Peaks Productions, CBS, or Showtime. This podcast is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all Seinfeld characters, story elements, and intellectual property are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and/or copyright holders. The makers of The Other Side of Darkness make no claims, directly or indirectly, of ownership to any elements held by these trademark and/or copyright holders, other than original characters, story elements, and other intellectual properties created specifically by the makers of this podcast. Musical elements referencing themes and motifs from the original theme music to Seinfeld and Twin Peaks are created expressly as works of parody and do not imply claims to ownership of said music.